What is population? A population is a group of living things of the same species living in a certain area. These are the factors that can cause a change in population size. Number 1. Birth rate. It refers to the number of births. Number 2. Immigration. It refers to the movement into a population. Number 3. Death rate. It refers to the number of deaths. Number 4. Immigration. It refers to the movement out of a population. Populations grow when the birth rate is greater than a death rate. Populations decline when the death rate is greater than the birth rate. What is carrying capacity? The carrying capacity is the maximum population size a certain environment can support for an extended period of time. The populations of most living things tend to fluctuate naturally around a certain level. That level is the carrying capacity. The following is a graph of a population at the carrying capacity of its ecosystem. The picture shows the two phases of population growth. In the first phase, there is exponential growth or a J-shaped pattern because it is gradually increasing, not limited by the resources. Logistic growth or an S-shaped pattern occurs in phase 2 because it will stabilize. These population growth curves are used by environmental scientists and conservation biologists as one way to monitor and prevent more threatened species. Therefore, understanding carrying capacity and population growth helps scientists track these species and prevent extinction. Every ecosystem has limiting factors. These are the things that affect the size of a population in that ecosystem. Examples of limiting factors. Number 1. Resources. Resources such as food, water, light, space, shelter, and access to mates are all limiting factors. If an organism, group, or population does not have enough resources to sustain it, individuals will die through starvation, desiccation, and stress, or they will fail to produce offspring. Number 2. Environmental conditions or weather. Number 3. Biotic factors. Biotic factors such as predation, herbivory, parasitism, and interspecific and intraspecific competition are also limiting factors. These tend to be density-dependent factors. Number 4. Human factors. The increase in the human population is responsible for placing many limiting factors on species that did not historically exist. Deforestation is a global issue causing decline and extinctions in many populations. Resources are also increasingly scarce due to hunting and leaching of nutrients from the soil. Number 5. Diseases and parasitism. Diseases and parasites have more opportunities to spread and infect individuals in larger populations, such as through contaminated water supplies. Number 6. Natural disaster. It is something that could happen no matter the size of the population, like fires and other natural disasters, odd weather, and clear-cutting forest. Okay, the last one is number 7. Presence of invasive species. An invasive species is an organism that is not indigenous or native to a particular area.
In science. In this video, I'd like to talk about carrying capacity of an environment. The maximum number of individuals in a species that an environment can support for the long term is the carrying capacity. Carrying capacity is limited by the energy, water, oxygen, and space, which are all limiting factors. As a population nears the carrying capacity, resources become limited. And if a population exceeds the carrying capacity, deaths begin to outnumber births. Let's take a look at the fish family that live in the fishbowl. Life is plentiful. There's plenty of space. There's food to eat. There's energy from the sun. And they're able to reproduce. However, as they reproduce, resources begin to become limited. They're limited by space and the amount of food. However, they're still able to reproduce. Eventually, there becomes so many fish that some of the fish begin to die off because there's not food to eat and the water is limited. They have reached the carrying capacity, and deaths will outnumber births until it gets back in balance. So there we go. The largest population that an environment can support is known as the carrying capacity.
Ends my video lecture. I hope that you enjoy listening and watching to my video presentation. Once again, my name is Lorime S. Contanares Galgo, MAED Teaching Science. Thank you.